Next, we have Hilary Hippen-Leek. Beautiful, intelligent, trustworthy, classical, polished are only a few adjectives to describe the Hilary I know. The woman we see on this stage is exactly the girl I fell in love with, beauty and brains from head to toe. Hilary was raised by two hardworking farmers. Growing up on a farm taught her many valuable lessons as a youth. My wife and best friend knows the importance of a hard day's work, love for animals, and the truth. As Hilary soared through life, academic honors, top degrees, high-paying jobs, one thing got in her way. Hilary's heart was too big for life. These are the challenges Hilary has to overcome every single day. A word of warning, Hilary's a certified crier. Nathan is working on his certification. Here she is with her essay, Not a Moment Too Soon, Not a Moment Too Late.
I'm not sure where my story begins. Maybe on one of those days in elementary school when I was terrified of returning to class after staying home sick for a day. Terrified that my friends had decided they didn't like me anymore and that another classmate deserved that coveted title of BFF. Or maybe it started on one of those childhood occasions when I could identify with the darkness behind my father's casual plea to just take him out to the back 40 and shoot him. It seemed reasonable. I wanted to go along. Or maybe it started with the isolation I longed for as a teenager, only finding solace and any desire to be around other humans at the bottom of a bottle. What I do know is that after years of perfecting my mask of fine, everything's fine, I'm fine, which was carefully crafted by my roles as a stellar student, an exceptional employee, a community leader, that my slide into the abyss of depression quickened in my early 20s. And that mask, it started to crack. I could spend my time here at the microphone cataloging the cocktails and medications, the therapies, the hospitalizations, the suicide attempts, the shock treatments, the many days of not leaving the house or even getting out of bed. But the producers, they're real hard asses about how much time we each get in the spotlight. Besides, I'd rather tell you my story of hitting bottom. I had been preparing for that journey into the night for many years, decades even. As I tiptoed through our home carrying a few months' worth of hoarded sleeping pills and the nearby train's schedule, Nora Jean Hope traced figure eights around my legs. This was unusual behavior for our rescued cat who had chosen to join our family just a few years before that night. But caught in a spell of hope for a final solution to the seemingly endless, painful experience of suffering from depression and anxiety, I walked on with a light heart and a resolute mind. I was finally going to free Nathan, our families, and even our feline housemates from the burden I had been for too long. They deserved better. They were in desperate need of a permanent break from the work of having to try to put me back together. I was both relieved and excited. I would no longer have to think about it, death, suicide. In fact, I would no longer have to think at all. But just as I approached the door to freedom, my rescuer quite suddenly came out of the dark. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late, she leapt onto my chest. A paw on each shoulder, a full-body feline hug. Our eyes met and her insistent cries went silent. There was stillness. I had hit the bottom, and she had made the landing survivable. A cat ended my journey that night, literally saving my life. I'd like to tell you that I was cured when we peeled ourselves off the floor, when the sun puddles started to invade the corner we'd been sharing for hours, that I got up and started grooming myself. You know, things like showering, brushing your teeth, shaving my legs. Tasks all but abandoned for years. And that I stopped grooming the ever-present dark voice of suicide and depression in my head. That I immediately got a job and started participating in my home life with Nathan and became a productive member of society. I didn't. That's not how it works. A single night spent embraced by the unconditional love of a cat didn't make my mental illnesses disappear. But it helped. That night, a wise soul shined a light in the dark, was willing and able to look behind my mask, and reminded me of something that I had forgotten and still occasionally forget. That I matter, that I am needed, that I am loved, and that it's possible life was expecting more from me. My journey to recovery has been a lot of work. It's been a commitment to living each moment as it comes. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. And as for Nora Jean Hope and me, we were destined to rescue one another. No one can convince me otherwise. Thank you.